Yo, what's up? All right, man. AMC is up 10% today. 10% today, a day before we enter the volatility zone. All right, we have done a full 180 man reversal back up from yesterday's high at 4. So we went up to 410 and we are about to cross into that first level territory when using this indicator. Okay, you guys saw the correlation. All right, from the last time we made this rounding bottom setup, I talked about this on the last video, right? Where this isn't quite the same thing, right? We did cross below, but this seems to be a fake out now that we're coming back inside the, well, not only that first level, but the POI window. So I think it's setting up to do something crazy in the next few days. Okay, not calling for like a squeeze or anything like right now. Again, we have to, the first thing that needs to happen for AMC to set up to do anything like that is it has to come up and retest this resistance trend line. That's like step one to this macro thing. But right now things are looking good for this to be that potential bottom. And yeah, I'm personally not, I don't see anything lower. On a few days ago, talking about the bottom end video that was on the 2nd, and we can see right here we have the fake out coming back in. So this range right here looks to be the bottom. And I'll kind of go over here what I think is going to happen the next few days. But hell yeah, man, this is some good news. Some good news for the thesis. But yeah. This is exactly what we wanted, guys. Is the V reversal. So even like the markets are kind of down, like barely down today. SPY right here is down, is not green. So the fact that Amy's green right now is a pretty good sign. A lot of stocks are green in the same market cap. We'll call it the market cap sector. Similar market caps right now are pumping. We got Palantir up today as well. There's usually good correlation between AMC and Palantir, so that's a good sign. Also, Palantir pumps, AMC typically follows. I did some analysis yesterday prior to them posting, or post earnings. Meant to say post earnings. Okay, cool. So that is what Amy looks like on the macro. All right, falling back into oversold territory and then back again to finally turn around and climb up. Guys, if this is if this is actually the bottom here, then like from here, like I'll kind of show you guys my projection here a little bit on what I think is going to go down. But I'm thinking something like this. If this POI is a positive POI, remember how on the video yesterday I talked about positive POIs, and when we do see the POIs be positive, there's only been 7 in the entire AMC chart. Okay, we go up at least 70%, so pretty extreme volatility. And if this is the case here, we would have it basically go up here towards the end of the week. The POI starts tomorrow. The window that I'm tracking starts tomorrow. It goes up to the 28th. That's going to be 13 days, 13 trading days, right? We're not tracking 13 market trading days is the window that I track. for this. And right there, we see about an 86% rally from the point at which it starts to climb up. So I think going into the POI, if we, if we close somewhere today, we can even go higher, but, if we close somewhere today at that 425 or even 450, it would set Amy up to do her thing. Set her up nicely. All right, but at this point, we do something like this, then the structure is finally looking more and more like some of the other patterns we're tracking, like Bitcoin, NVAX, Mara, all these guys had this same structure here. They accumulated for a little bit, and then they started to climb up. Okay, so this is the first step, accumulation, right? From here, if this happens, things are going to look a lot better for AMC's long-term chart. Long-term chart. All right, 4.04. Let's take a look at the market. See what's climbing up today. If we go on this time frame here, 5 minute. Okay, from the start, you can see Palantir's all the way on top. Right below it, we got you, go to. Got you, go to. All right, we got plug. No, this is not plug. XPEV. LAZR. NEO was up today, so a lot of Chinese EV sector stocks were pumping. And then AMC, look at that. AMC right here. Yo, AMC, let's go. All right, we have Tilray. Okay, Tilray CGC. And now it looks like we have, see Nikola. Nikola right here. Plug making a comeback. And Tilray as well. CGC, so the cannabis sector pumping a little bit, and AMC. So CGC, AMC are the same color. Okay, remember, like this indicator, I have 20 stocks that I track, but I've overlaid 7 of these together so we can have 150 here to look at. Do I think we can hit 7 tomorrow? No. So, not that we can't. The POI, dude, when we track this POI window, usually the volume is spread out inside, and at least you see a good 3 days where the price pumps. But for the price, to climb up to 7 like that, I mean, we would need to see a 65% day, which is not impossible. Like we've seen days like this before, but normally it's spread out as the price is climbing already. So the POI doesn't happen in one day. It takes about 3 days inside the window, right? So right now it's setting up to do that, but I think it's going to be spread out going into expiration week, monthly expiration week next week. I think that makes the most sense. So, if it starts climbing up like this, maybe 5, maybe we end the week at 5 or something, then AMC is going to be up a good bit, from there, from the bottom here to 5. I mean, that's already 40% right there. 40% from the lows here to 5. That's quite a bit. So we start climbing up there, and then we set up to go up next week, maybe another 45%, and then going up to that $7 to $8 range. And then that's what makes a positive point of interest there. Charge point making a comeback. All right, and SPY has been overbought here for quite some time now. It is just, it's riding the fourth level, so outside the fourth level band, which, normally this just does not signify that the price is going to come down heavy or anything like that. I personally don't think that's going to happen. If you see back over here, when it rides above the range, you just have constant liquidations on the way down, but they're quick. So it's just grabbing liquidity and then coming back up, which is basically a parallel channel like that. So inside this little parallel channel, you have little stages where it just comes up, down, and then back up, down, and then back up. Because we haven't even crossed 500 yet, guys, and 500 is a psychological level. So once you cross that, think of NVIDIA. All right, when it crossed NVIDIA, I'm expecting to come back or come down not quite yet. I know it's down today, but I think it's going to fake out up here for a little bit and then start climbing down soon. But yeah, think about it with NVIDIA, right? Look at how long it took for it to cross 500. So, and I mean like fully cross 500. But here, it's at that 480 range. It comes down. Then it climbs back up. After our session briefly hits that $500 range, and then it comes down again. Then it fully crosses it all the way up. So, SPY hasn't even done that yet. So I think it's going to be a similar case in that it's either going to cross it. We're going to be trading up in that, 520 range. Then we'll get a breather back down. I don't see anything major, dude. I think it's going to be a good year. At least going into the middle of the year. All right, let's see. Let's see what's breaking out now. AMC is breaking out. Look at that. AMC is breaking out. Okay, back 11%, going back up. And she is looking good. Ooh, okay. All right, Amy trying to race over here. Okay, Amy's looking good. Amy trying to break. No, it just broke the highs of today at 410. Yeah, that's a nice chart. So volume's finally starting to come back in. Barcoding does not seem to be an issue right now because of the volume. Oh yeah. Also, you guys flipping the charts, man. Okay, let's take a look at the volume chart here on Amy. I haven't really done this much. Okay. All right, so this is awesome indicator that measures volume times price. So you're gonna get a similar chart to the market cap chart a little bit, because it kind of ignores the splits, right? The splits and the drastic change in price. If that is, you gotta be looking at volume with that stuff. You can see there's a lot more volume being traded down here than, the price up here, which makes sense. Right? Lower volume, higher price, higher volume with lower price. But anyways, with that, you can kind of look at the charts and start tracking these levels of support and resistance the same way. And right here, if we take it from the absolute bottom on both of these for support, then it's, it's trading down here in this range, right? But if you take the average of that right there, which I think is the ideal, you get a nice little bounce. So basically, all this is saying is expecting volume to rise. Not necessarily direction, because you can see right here when we dumped, volume still went up. There was still heavy volume, and this is like a volatility indicator, basically. Volume volatility. But the fact that it's bouncing off of support, it's what it seems like. Expect volatility. All right, let's play some music, bro. I gotta love this chart, dude. Let's take a look at this chart with other stocks that have already kind of pumped, so we can do some analysis on that. So, I don't know. Let's take a look at Carvana. Okay, Carvana. I mentioned this yesterday too, but remember, Carvana went from 375 down to $3.50. Which, if you look at AMC right now with the split and everything, the same thing. Goes from 400 down to 350. Similar range. Its volume chart here. Okay, also respecting support, and then as soon as it starts climbing up here, just kind of hovers, does not fully come down to support there, which seems pretty similar to AMC as well. It didn't, fully come down, just kind of hovering over. That's where volume started to kick in. Peter, hi, what's up? Nana, Moonape. Yes, Wesley, I do have some things on Neo I'm tracking right now. Namara, the Mara one, we are tracking something over here. All right, let's take a look at Neo. Yeah, so Neo's been oversold for a little bit now. It's in that oversold territory. The last time we were in there for quite some time was in October of last year. You can see it trades in this range for about the same time, and then it comes back in to that second level. So it's it seems like Neo wants to, if this is the bottom for Neo, there is quite a bit of a gap down here from, its all-time lows, but the Chinese market has been dumped quite a bit. So this is obviously affecting these stocks to do their thing. Even though these stocks are traded, here as well, and there's a lot of U.S. volume on these stocks, it makes it harder for them to pump. But it being oversold, October. Now, I love looking at stocks that are oversold on the daily chart with this indicator. I mean, it works. Overbought, oversold. Usually, there's a good sign, good indication that the stock is going to reverse in some form of way. Even if it comes down and up to that first or second level territory, that's still about $8. From there on the macro though, right now it's still declining. Okay, kind of looks like Amy too right here. Like Amy's like right here, trying to come up to support right now. But it's still declining on a parallel channel. So until it fully recovers and comes up, retests this macro resistance trend line, I would say it's still in a distribution type of a pattern or phase, distribution phase. Yes, take a look at Rumble. All right, so Rumble is about to cross. Now there's two settings I use for this. I use 100 and 50. 50 is also very good at. Hello? Oh, hi. Okay, last time we crossed in. The thing is, so I guess the only difference between the two charts right now is, I think this looks a little bit more like September 2022 because it's also just riding. I mean, look at how this band here is acting as support on the way up. It has not crossed down. It's just support right now. So it's holding very well. That would be the bullish case, right? I think the bulls are definitely in control right now for Rum. A lot of liquidity up here at 10. Yep. Right around what seems like $10. No, so $10 there is liquidity, but not more than the $12 range. So it looks like point of control is up here. So this would be resistance actually for that. They're going to have to cross all this volume. But the good thing about this indicator, guys, the volume profile, is that when you see a gap, normally the price, this is like, it's either going to bust through or it acts as a falling knife if there's no volume. It's very airy. There's no volume to really stop the price from doing its thing. So another way to look at it, easier for the price to bust through here. Now that's looking at the entire chart and the entire volume. Now it changes if I come back down to a lower time frame here. Now the point of control is going to be down here. There's still looks very airy though. Curious to see what this looks like on Amy. Similar. See, but do you see what I'm talking about though, right? No volume right here. Falling knife. Just falls right through because there's nothing stopping it. I was looking at NVAX too, man. NVAX, it's up 4% today. It just hit all-time lows literally yesterday. This thing is known to, like... Yeah, but it got... Yeah, it hit all-time lows by like a penny. Yeah, by like a penny. It was like 353 and 354 or 55 is the previous low. And it's having a nice little comeback too. So, hey, with this spots we need spot. With this chart we need spots. Spots. Rounding out the price here for us a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this thing is extremely oversold right now, along with everything else. I mean, NVAX, AMC are actually trading in similar ranges too. I mean, this thing goes up 400 down to 392, similar to AMI. 400 down to 350. Not as oversold as AMC, but definitely oversold. What's up, Day One? Yeah, Tesla, another big one. Tesla at 392 right now. This pattern for some reason was... Yeah, I'm expecting Tesla to move very soon. So right now, the one thing I'm tracking for Tesla is a break on this resistance trend line here in the short term. So you can see how much it's testing it right now, how many times it's tested it and been rejected every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fake out, one last dump, and then I love this little pump it had here in the morning. So if this holds through, man. If it crosses through, I think we're on track to finally turn around here on Tesla. Yeah, Tesla. And then we're tracking the Wells Fargo formation here on Tesla. Call it the little Wells Fargo formation. It's inverse. But the timing here is the same. It's 1-to-1 inverse. Yeah, and with Tesla, you do have to look at try and analyze the phase it's in on the macro, because right now, there's a lot you can see. I think there's a lot of different ways we can, like, understand the Tesla chart, right? I mean, somebody can say it's a flag or it's a pennant developing, and this is going to come down, to 3, like, at least support at 150. I can, but I see it a little bit differently. So I actually see, with flags, guys, and pennants, always take a look at the fake outs. And the fake outs happen very quickly. So the projection I have here is actually that this turns around here in the short term, rather hits. So we're paying attention mostly to this parallel channel here more than anything, more than the this macro pennant. We'll talk about the macro pennant here in a little bit. But if this bounces off of this third retest, and we get a fake out here, this is the fake out that I'm talking about. Say it comes up here to like 3 something, and then it comes back down. Another fake out right here, and then it starts climbing back up. 2 fake outs right there. And what this does, this is where I pulled up the Mara pattern here, because the Mara pattern is calling for that here. If you take it, dear, from the lows. Actually, it's probably better if I pull that chart under here. Because Mara already did this, dude. So it would be somewhere in this range right here. This is like, in it. This is the flag I'm talking about, or the pennant. It looks a little bit different on Tesla's chart here, but if there is a fake out on resistance, then we would probably be somewhere. It's like a mix between this section. It's like flipped a little bit. Yeah. You gotta have the fake outs, man. The fake outs are actually like the SPY. This is where I got this from, bro. The SPY fake out, the mother of all fake outs, bro. And this is what I had talked about previously before we found the lows here in October of 2022. Watch this, bro. It's a series of fake outs, but draw your resistance trend line on SPY, right? From the cross. After that, it was bullish. This is the fake out I'm talking about, bro. So if Tesla's right here, it's doing that parallel channel thing. The fake out would be right here. Comes up and then comes back down again, then springs. So it's like a, I don't know, what would you call that? It's just a fake out breakout, bro. The fake out breakout. But yeah, these are ugly, man, but I mean, opportunities. Oh, wait. Here's the fake out I'm talking about. Here we go. The series of fake outs, man. So one here and one here. Both about the same. $200 before down to, or 209 before down to 140. It can for sure. I personally think it's going to go a little higher. I think it's going to reach maybe the 250, 270 range before it does that. Just because of this parallel channel. Now, it is a hefty move, but like, look how many times it did it, right? Right here, 30%, 35. From here, 35, 250, maybe 40. If it's that last one, we have resistance trend line. And then the main reason I think this would happen is, well, looking at reference patterns, right? We already saw what Wells Fargo is showing us right now. The inverse pattern on Wells Fargo is showing us the same thing. We have the parallel channel, retest 3 times, right, on each side. Historical data looks good too. Levels look good on the historical data. And then this bounce actually fully crosses through, talking about this fake out. So I think before that, we'll probably see 350 and see what happens there. But I think if it comes up to 350, it's likely going to continue, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to stop there. Going to stop out the 360, 380, and then $300 range all in one go. That. Let me see if let's see what happens with Wells Fargo after that, because I didn't take the full pattern. Yeah, it comes down. Comes down. And then it starts climbing up. But see, like, so here it comes down. I personally would not track it after if it does come up to 310. From there, I would be tracking something else. I don't think it would. I think this drags on a little bit too much, I think, for the chart. And I think there's more volatility on Tesla than there is on Wells Fargo. So taking those two, I think here it would just drop. And let's see if it checks out with earnings or something. Oh, look at that. Earnings, April. Yeah, that checks out, dude. They say they pump it back up to 310, 300, and then it sets up to come down on earnings. Oh, this is that new fucking Justice song, bro. I love this song, bro. You guys like that funky bass? I'm all about that funky bass, bro. All right, AMC intraday right now. We're up 11%, setting up to do some damage, hopefully. All right, hopefully this POI is positive. Technicals are looking good for that. 11%. Going on 17, what is that, another 3-4%? This thing is moving quickly, man. 2%, 420. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. This move right here that we just saw, okay, is exactly what we needed, or we need to happen, right, and hold, right? I don't want this thing to come all the way back down, because then kind of defeats the purpose. But you guys saw the video last night. We talked about this this move today, this V reversal needed to happen for the POI to look going into the POI to look bullish, right? But we're seeing this move happen, and I'm gonna pull up the pattern we're tracking, because the pattern we are tracking is right here. Wait. Here we go, here we go. Guys, 62-day cycle, man. We're gonna take 2 cycles. I've done this already like 10 times, man, but you guys know how I am. I love to show you guys the real deal, so you know I'm not like manipulating the pattern or anything in time. But this is exactly what this pattern was calling for, man. It was calling for a fake out and a reversal back up before it enters the POI. The POI starts tomorrow. I don't know why this is on the 8th. It's not correct. There it is. Okay, what is this pattern showing us? Fake out. This is a fake out, reversal, setting up to pump on the POI. All right, this is November of 2020. AMC rallied 100% after, I believe it was COVID news. I think both mRNA and AMC were pumping that day. But it basically gave the green light for movie theaters to start opening up again after COVID. A series of catalysts here. Guys, and that's a good question, Bill. So remember, this right here, if this POI is positive, it's like I keep getting questions on like, yo, is this going to squeeze or whatever on this POI? I personally don't think that it's going to squeeze on this POI, just because with phases in the market, whenever you exit a distribution phase, okay, you have to look at what's happening, before that, the entire chart. There's only one chart in the market right now that looks like it's ignoring the distribution phase, and you look at Paramount, they basically accumulated as the chart was declining like this. But whenever you have charts that trade sideways in a range and drop like this, they typically tend to accumulate. So once this pumps up to resistance, if it does that, go look at the Carvana chart, right? Because the Carvana chart, before it starts to climb up and set up to go up quite a bit, it accumulates. So think of AMC being like right here, right now. That's the way I'm looking at it, at least. If this is accumulation and it pumps quite a bit, it took about what? February to May. Yeah, so it took a few months for it to accumulate and then do its thing, right? Start climbing up for good. So that's what I think is going to happen, man. I think we're going to hit resistance, and then we'll trade sideways in a range. Doesn't have to be that way, right? If AMC decides to go the spring route, then yeah, if it decides to go the spring route, then we get something completely different, a ripple effect. I've talked about the ripple effect that happens after the POI, and it's basically saying, yo, if this continues to rally after the POI is over, then the shorts are in trouble, right? The threshold is crossed, the algorithm is getting ready to release. All right, let's see what the markets are doing. All right, CGC, save. Carvana? Carvana is pumping today too. And AI, guys. AI finally getting some love. I think AI is going to do something soon. AI is currently in a double bottom. It's on that. I think that is what it's setting up to do. Now with Carvana, I have, this is my my phase, my reaccumulation, series of reaccumulation phases that we actually looked at AMC for the cycle here. But reaccumulation is after advancing, it'll trade sideways, come down to support, and then continue advancing, right? So it's only done that twice. This seems to be the largest accumulation phase right now on its chart. It's exiting reaccumulation and hopefully going into another stage of advancing, which, I mean, if you take a look at, I mean, this is AI, guys. I mean, it's AI, bro. So AI, it's going to advance here. Fake out, double bottom, boom. Dude, AI is looking good, man. And AI is behind the game a little bit. It was one of the stocks that rallied early in the year last year, but I mean, we had Carvana is pumping. We had Roku, which was pumping too. We had Upstart, which was pumping. And AI is just a little bit flat right now. It's a little bit behind. I think it's going to go next. It's up 5%. Oh. Flippin', man, flippin'. Oh, guys, AMC is turning around too on the macro. Forgot to show you guys this. On the macro daily chart, I use 250 for this. So we can see, you know, a good bit of data. You don't want to just see 5 days of data because it makes sense, right? You want to see the full data, full set. 250 bars is about a year. And we can see Carvana up here. We can see Mara, AAOI. And we can see AMC. Look, AMC is turning around. It's no longer at the very bottom. It was yesterday, negative 95. And now it's all the way up here at negative 82. So it's already pumping back up. That's a really good sign. It just crossed two levels of resistance. And if you look at the Mara correlation we were tracking, the Nikola, the Carvana, I mean, all of them, once they start pumping back up here, that's usually a good sign for a reversal. I know China right now is taking quite a bit of a dump, man. A lot of Chinese stocks. Yeah, they're like halting trading, and they're making short selling illegal up there, or not illegal, but they're not allowing people to short in China. Who knows? Maybe they're making it, I don't know, regulating that for good. I don't know, man. That stuff is crazy right now, though. It might be yeah, and it usually takes some time, guys, for a ripple effect to that, you know, to get to the U.S. In stocks. So it could be the case, too, that, you know, a lot of stocks start pumping after what's happening over there. You know, because typically you pump first, then you dump. You don't just start dumping. So kind of makes sense. People get liquidated. Maybe some shorts get liquidated. What else is up today? Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about the Palantir correlation here with the markets, because all right, Palantir is up 26% today. Big candle there. Big gap too. Yeah, man. Palantir. There's a good correlation though with AMC and Palantir. I mean, I know that two are clearly in different sectors, but you know, every time we see Palantir going up, typically AMC follows, like on all POIs. So like. Right here, it starts going up first. POI is positive. It's trending up. It does fall down here, but it's trending up prior to the POIs here. So, January here, 22. AMC goes up later. November, pumping. I mean, just overall, seems to be a pretty good correlation between the two. Now, like even here, guys, it starts dropping before AMC dumps. Like drop and then AMC. So it seems to like kind of forecast the direction that AMC ends up taking on the POIs prior to the POIs. So yeah, a little bit of cycle analysis there with that cycle reference patterns. 26, man, 26%. Looking pretty good. Save, man, another one, dude, that is just killing it. All right, so here is this is cool, guys. Cool stuff. So Save is up for a reason. All right, I know it's got earnings coming up tomorrow, and it's probably going to keep going up. But look at this. You see it? Remember this pattern, bro? This right here is Upstart. Reason I was able to find this was using the all-in-one indicator. Like the Mara video I posted took the same exact approach, and I'm going to show you guys here real quick. We're going to go back to 5, because when you go back down to 5, all you're looking for is short-term volatility in the markets. Anything that has like extreme volatility, you're going to see DWAC, you're going to see Save, you're going to see Upstart. I'm about to show you. 5. Oh, we smoothed everything down to that 5-day window. So you can see down here, Save, Upstart, or DWAC. Okay. Now what I did was, well, historically, what other patterns have gone down in a similar way. And you can see back over here, one of the ones that did that in May 2022 was Upstart. Okay, so I took that pattern and I tracked it. I started tracking it right here. Followed through the levels to a T, man. Okay. The time, not perfect. I don't really care though. As long as a price eventually comes up to the levels it's calling for here, because the algorithm is obviously a little bit slower here. But now it shows direction. It seems like it's going to come up to that $10 range by or after earnings. And then from there, it just kind of trades sideways, starts coming down a little bit. But yeah, man, the beauty of reference patterns, bro. The beauty of it. Okay. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, my Amy looking good. $11% or 12% now, 411. All right, guys, drop some stocks in the chat so I can track them. Rivian, that's a good one. Yeah, Rivian, it's been beat, man. It's been beat, but look, it looks similar to Tesla too, right? We got the descending channel right now developing. We call it the descending M-shaped pattern, which normally has a POI here at the end. All right, normally it does. So it seems like it already had its fake out. It's just coming back down to retest and create a new two fake outs, right? So we look at this. You got one fake out right here, and we got one fake out right here. It's perfect. They about to clash right here, man. Turn around here. If Tesla starts climbing in the next few days, I think that is it. And that is a bottom right there. Its volume is descending too, so volume is priming up for something big. Remember, volume, all it's doing is telling us that if it's descending, if it's getting lower and lower and lower, it's preparing to experience, for the price to experience volatility, right? So heavy volume does not mean upside, does not mean downside. It means either one. Either one, bro. Okay. Volume. It did double bottom on changes. That's good. That's a good sign. Tesla just did this too. Yeah, no, I'm bullish on the entire EV sector, man. Entire EV sector, bullish on. Here's Wells Fargo again. It's on a triple bottom, coming to the same range at -30 for Tesla. Look at that, guys. The entire market. DWAC. To be fair, though, you can't really compare DWAC to anything else because like it's saying right now, like on a 5-day span, that it went up 850% within a 5-day span, right? If I change this to 2, you're going to see GME like way, way, way up here. But this also didn't have an option chain when it was launched. So anything that doesn't have an option chain can go up freaking higher because it just doesn't have the same. They're not going to suppress them the same way. It's the thing, man. No option chain is like nothing, man. It goes up 1,000%. Who cares? The option chain, bro, is what makes it really hard for these to pump the way they do. And when they do, it's like just crazy because there's an option chain, bro. There's so much leverage. All right, GME. Here's AMC. AMC, CGC, DWAC, and then OCGN, another one that didn't have an option chain at the time. December 2020. I mean, yeah, GME is always going to be at the top. Unless another stock beats it in the future. And shorts get screwed again. Yeah, here's GME or AMC right there. Look at that. Remember those days, man, when they would trade like siblings? I remember those days, bro. Man, those days. The cycle right now is it's still in that breather stage like we talked about. So this break stage in the cycle is, I'm not going to lie, man, it's pretty annoying, but it is what it is, bro. Like, the amount... Okay, so there's 7 total POIs, right, that have played out inside the POI window. There's only been one, and that's the July event that took place 100% in the after-hour session, gets shut down, right? Algorithm. But look at how many neutral POIs there are. And completely normal, right? No volatility doesn't need to happen on the POI. It doesn't. It just gives the opportunity based on the positive correlation, 7 out of 8. But there's a lot of that, and this is a break period I talked about here. There's only been one POI in this entire break period since August of 2022, where the price has just been sideways inside the POI. And people, some people get upset at that because they're like, yo, you're calling for volatility. Like, no. Where this is not guaranteeing volatility. It just gives the opportunity for AMC to rally inside the 13-day window or dump. That's pretty much it. But, yeah, going into this one, now that we've had this break for so long, the price is already extremely oversold. I don't see why the heck we're still trading in this range, man. But I like the bounce, dude. I like the bounce, and it's up 11% today. So as long as it holds this bounce and continues to rise, this is looking more and more like November of 2020. Price shortly after that started to pump inside the POI. So my projection, based on those events, the cycle, is that AMC starts climbing up going into the end of the week. That's just my projection. Keep you guys updated. Follow me on X, TWE Charts, if you guys want to be updated with that stuff, all that good stuff. Otherwise, join the Discord with on the link below. Takes you straight there. Market analysis as well, guys. Let's see. Change the parameters here a little bit. You guys see now how many stocks I have overlaid on top of this thing? 150, bro. All right, intraday right now we are see what's down here. AMC's right here. It's taking just a little bit of a break, I think. No, but dude, AMC is holding up pretty well, though. Holding up pretty well compared to the entire market. Here's AMC. There we go. It's a better picture of what the entire market is doing. Most stocks are trading between the 2% range right now. That's the average of the market. Well, let's put the average here. Yeah. Well, the average is actually, I'm taking IWM. That's not a fair assessment, I guess, of the, if you're taking everything into account. IWM has a lot of these small and mid-cap stocks in there, but right now, yeah, somewhere around that 2 and threshold. But yeah, AMC's up here, dude. Look at that. AMC, we got Neo right here. Nikola. No, Peloton. Nikola, LAZR, Plug, XPEV, and Palantir. Yeah, Palantir's all the way up. So down below, there's a Patreon link. That is going to be the premium Discord. If you want to have access to the other Discord for alerts, message me on X. I have the link set off right now for reasons. There's a lot of bots, man, and trying to avoid bots coming in. If you leave that link open, man, and bots will make their way in. They'll create links and stuff. It's not good. Not good. EJ, appreciate you, man. That's the goal, man. You know, it's and I'm trying to like you know push that out in that because the cycle can be tricky, man. It really is, and yeah, I'm just trying to teach the perspective in the way that I see it, and there's nothing wrong, you know, with making projections based on the cycle. I mean, that's because of the correlation. You know, that's why you know I do what I do with the cycle, right? Even though things look a certain way, you know, they don't have to happen. But it's important to teach that message, right, in that how the cycle works, how the POIs work. But yeah, I mean, I talk about this gray area the whole time, and I still think a lot of people, for some reason, just don't understand how that area works, because it's such a small window that, like, the gray area in this window, like we're talking the 62-day cycle has a 13-day window that we track for volatility, you know, and that divide that by the entire cycle, 62 days, right? And that's 62 days right there. And that 13-day window is not large compared to this, you know, the entire section. So for us to experience volatility inside just that 13-day window is pretty big, man. Like 13 to 62 is a pretty crazy ratio, bro. Pretty crazy, man. Gotta love that, dude. Love that spring reversal here. I mean, guys, we got 2.5 hours left here in the market. Dude, this holds, man, that 425 going into 440 range. Like, AMC's up, is currently up 1158, but if it keeps crossing through, we're gonna see probably another 5, like, 16-17% range day today is really good before the POI. Like, before the POI, I mean, bro, 70%, that would be dope. And we'll be entering the levels, the first level. I mean, that's the thing, guys. And indicators are extremely good at telling us if the POI is closer to being positive or negative. Because the last POI we had, that was, it was about 40%, so not quite. It's still considered a neutral POI, but it still went up 40%, and that was right here. And that was, like, as soon as it entered that first level, goes up 40%. Right now, we're about to do the same thing inside the POI. Right, here's the POIs, guys. Last one. See, it enters right before we're about to enter it. And right before it goes up 40%. So, inverse, same thing. Inverse POIs, positive POIs. You know what the crazy thing about this POI, guys? I'm tracking this range right now. If you come back to the levels indicator, look at how much it's oversold, too. That's why I'm comparing November of 2020 to now. This little section, I already have overlaid on top. Dude, it's literally, it's been out and around the same time. And this is indicators, guys. I mean, we're tracking time, but indicators is another thing. Are tools that we can use to, like, kind of confirm that on top. SKLZ, bro, I was tracking this one too. SK, this one's pumping. It's having a nice little pump. The pattern that I'm tracking is right here. And so far, and it's calling for upside. It's up, also 11%. Yeah, this one's had a few splits, I believe. One for 20. Brandon, thank you, man. Thank you for the love. Ditto, bro. Love the chat, man. Love the chat. Okay, so the difference between all-in-one stocks and all-in-one crypto is there's actually quite a bit of a difference. The all-in-one stocks, because it's options trading, which involves more of time and having to deal with data burn and volatility and all that stuff, it's very different in the way that I trade stocks and options and crypto, because crypto is leverage trading. So it's like with crypto, man, I'm on the 1 minute, and if I'm gonna be like day trading crypto, which again involves a lot of volatility, with this I even have a threshold set because of when it goes into that territory, say that 2% territory or even lower, 5% territory. Obviously this right here is showing us that XMR is experiencing extreme volatility in the market. So I have these thresholds set, because anything above that or lower than that, extreme volatility, not going to be, trading that, because it can bust through, go higher. But if it's trading inside this range between 2.5 and 2%, it's normally just accumulating or distributing, which means that when it's up here, I'm shorting, and when it's down here, I'm longing. And it's because it's leverage trading, it's quick. So it's a day trading strategy I use for crypto. And it's pretty accurate, the way that things bounce up and down in the markets. But yeah, I treat it the same way on the macro, right? If I'm trying to understand what the crypto markets are doing on the macro chart. Okay. All right, here's the entire crypto market. Okay. What do we got here? Yeah, we have a lot of stocks, man. Where's Doge? Here's Doge. FTM, Doge, Shiba. And Bitcoin. Alright, I gotta change the song, man, because it's been like the 5th time that plays. I love Justice, man, but I'm about to get kicked for playing this music. Give it a little break. Classic, man. Classic V reversal. Okay, real quick, guys. Doing a little bit of the update on the Mara correlation between Mara and AMC. This indicator changes. Okay, measures the rate of change. I'm using it on 250, and I do this a lot to find correlation in the markets. What other stocks have done the same thing? And the video I posted on Mara. Okay, we're also going to be using 250 for this. Okay, it was way back here in 2018. Right here. And this is the correlation I found. It's the same time, everything. So what happens after it crosses resistance? Date range from the peak to now 120 days. 120. Make sure I'm doing the right one. It's this one. That's why I do them back to back. Let's see, 32. Oh, that's why. Okay, 200 days. It was this one. There we go, 200 days. There we go, there we go. Okay. -10, -10. Then it's -30. And then it comes down to that 90 range, which is what AMC just did, 95, 200 days. So until it crosses this resistance trend line, that is where I'm expecting this thing to turn around. Right? It looks like AMC would be somewhere right here. Yo. All right, I'm trying to get intimate here with the chart. Here's the cross. Oh, we should have a similar angle too. Okay, -12. It should be similar. -5. There we go. It like, if you look at that, so it's gonna be hard to get them like exact here. Why is it changing now? What the heck? You guys see that? The angle changes. That is weird. Okay, maybe that's not relevant. I'd rather let's do distance instead. Distance on the daily. Date time range. Yeah, let's do that. So 192 on the break, 192. 198. Okay, so AMC slightly behind right here. Once it enters, though, it goes to the fourth band. Mara goes to the fourth band, which is pretty huge. Because if this went to the fourth band, it would go up to like 20. And then you go, at that point you have to look at Carvana, because Carvana went from 3 to 20 on the first break in accumulation. Starting accumulation, so think of Nikola, think of CGC, Carvana. These guys, before they went, the only one that's been that went from advancing or accumulating to advancing was Carvana. The rest stayed in accumulation, but they all went up like 500% on that breakthrough. So I'm being pretty conservative. Like, if this is going to be a positive POI and it goes up to resistance at 8 and then comes back down, that's pretty conservative for a break like 70%. Most stocks right now are like, yeah, man, like here. Another one is Nikola. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I would be calling for, like, if this was going to go up to 70%, it would go, Nikola went from 50 cents to 95, and then that would be it, right? And then accumulation, and then it keeps going up. But it didn't do that. It went up 600%. And then it entered accumulation. Like, you zoom out of the chart, and this thing pumped, came back down to basically support, and then now it's getting ready to, hopefully turn around. That's accumulation right there. It's just super big. But with Carvana, and this took so much time, June to February, that's like 8 months. With Carvana, it only took from January to May. So it took a few months to accumulate. Bottom, 3, 20. See that? 3 to 20. 500% bottom, and then it continued its rally. I mean, this is what I'm saying, guys. This chart has an option chain. Carvana had a massive option chain. This thing goes up almost 2,000% from the bottom 3 all the way up to 60. The same with Nikola. I mean, Nikola, CGC, all of them have option chains, and they're extremely shorted. 380 down to 3. AMC. $390 down to 3. Okay, from the low, 3. Let's see, coordinates. 358, bottom, high, good, 10,000%. Carvana. That's wrong. It's like 3, what is it? The low is like 3 something. Tell me it's 358 too. $356. And what's the high? Bro. Wow. Guys. 10,500% they short this thing. If somebody shorted this at 375 and it came all the way down to that 354 range, okay, it's going to display that as like a 98% drop or whatever, but it's actually a 10,000% gain for shorts. That's how I calculate shorts anyways. I think it's a better way to actually understand how longs and shorts are, how that's calculated, and that's why I use this indicator too, guys, because it's another way to kind of see that. But yeah, I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, and people are saying, like, don't compare the two because this hasn't had splits. I mean, it doesn't matter. It got shorted the same way. If this was trading at 72 still and it came down, it wouldn't be displaying $4. I mean, it would be displaying 40 cents. So it doesn't matter. The ratio is the same. The ratio is the same. That's the thing. And they both got option chains, bro. On that first pump, look at that, around the same time too, January, it goes up to it goes all the way up to 20. It's the thing. This thing moved fast. Took about, and then from here it took a few months. But on the initial POI here, it took a month. So it is longer than 13-day, the 13-day window. It's a series, and this is a ripple effect I talked about. Once you get the POI, and there's a ripple effect after that, it's the same thing that happened here. It goes up at like another 200-300%. Matt, yes. So Nikola, like I talked about, these stocks that are trading under the dollar range, you're gonna have, days where it's up 5%, days where it's down, 10%. I mean, very choppy, but it just looking at the chart right now, I can tell you right now that the formation it's doing and a lot of the stocks that we're tracking, like, Blink, all of these are calling for upside in the short term to at least that, 150 to $2 range. After that, though, it's not something that I would, because most of these charts, I mean, the ones that I'm overlaying on top here, the longer term charts, are calling for like a pretty massive like accumulation period for Nikola. But this can just turn around here on this POI. Like if this starts to climb up going into the end of the month or the middle of the month, right? Then once it reaches that range at 150 to 2, for me that's an exit point. Just because, again, not looking to see if this is going to like be a macro double bottom or if it's going to distribute again, right? Because if it distributes again, it's going to take some time. We're going to see more of like a pennant formation on Nikola, and then it's going to drag on for a little while. But yeah, this is just one of the patterns here. I think Nikola, Charge Point, all these guys in the mid to small market cap, small to mid market cap, are already at their bottom. And yeah, and this includes AMC in the mix. Look at that. AI is actually pumping. What else? I know that there's a few stocks that have earnings too, like Enphase. Enphase is a tricky one, man. I'm not gonna lie. This one is tricky because of how much of a gap there is down here. It's kind of scary to think that, well, if this is truly the bottom here, then it would start climbing up or whatever. But look at how much of a gap it has down here with all this liquidity. Yeah, Enphase, what, Snapchat has earnings too? Snapchat's another one, bro. This one, man. I was actually tracking a POI on this one with the pattern structure, and it's a triple top setup. Classic triple top setup. You can see on Plug, you can see it on AMC. Okay. The thing is, this one is already overextended. That has me thinking that it's just not going to be. So here, Plug. I'll show you guys. I'm talking about this triple top setup right here. So this guy, classic triple top, it gets shorted, right? But right here, if that was going to be the case, I think it would have started coming down already. So the fact that it's pumping up has me thinking that this is going to gap up on earnings. Another reason for that, I mean, so not another reason, another chart that shows us that is AMC. We come back here, you can see it a little bit better. Right, triple top. I use this pattern for Plug and for, what was the other chart? Billy. Billy might be a good chart to use too. Yeah, for Snapchat, because right here is where I was tracking that initially, and then it broke up into something else. Look, so see how it's like kind of developing right here? You have a series of projectors before it starts to ride up. There's just a lot of volume. And then you start to see it kind of develop here a little bit, like that right there. But now it starts to flip back up. And then there's a gap up here. There's a gap up on Billy. I don't know if that was earnings or what, but there's a gap up. So I think I'm kind of, yeah, I'm on its side here in that I think Snapchat probably just gaps up. Instead, there is a gap to fill up here too. Now, I don't think this would be anything extreme. I think if anything, they would do like a volatility crush, maybe like a pump up to like 19 or 20, and then it kind of comes down a little bit like this. Nothing crazy. I mean, because if you gap up, dude, just think about it. You have two massive gaps, goes up to, I don't know, 25 or something. Then you just have a gap here and you have a gap here. I haven't really seen a chart like that in a while. I mean, is there a chart? Do you guys know of a chart that has two gaps like that where it's just you have a floating section? I don't know, man. Anyhow, Snapchat, when does it have earnings? Today or tomorrow? Today. Today in the after-hour session, I believe. Earnings. Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Snapchat. Like, I know it's, Facebook just beat to, or Meta, which pumped Snapchat a little bit here, but Okay, guys. AMC holding up. Alrighty. So that is going to cut it here, guys, for the stream today. Wanted to update AMC now that we are pumping 12%. We'll see what happens here in the coming days. POI starts tomorrow. Will last about 13 days, 13 trading days. And that is where normally we have a good correlation here with volatility. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. And yeah, make sure you guys hit that notification bell and subscribe if you want to know when we go live. All right. Let's see you guys on the next stream. Bye-bye.